Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Alexandria, Monge, your realtor. And as usual, every Wednesdays at 7 p.m., I'm here to give you some great information on real estate. And we will be discussing the fears that keep people, the fears that avoid people from buying real estate. I'm just waiting for the word to be spread out, and we can start having some people join me live, and that way we can start. Hope you guys have had a great Wednesday afternoon. Your job, time for some coffee. Believe me, at this time we need it. It's been a really long day, very busy, especially here in Miami. You know, we have so much traffic all over that it's kind of difficult to get from one place to another in a very quick manner. This morning, I think I did a great job. I got out very early out of my house, had like 3-4 appointments, and I was able to manage and get to all of them on time, even though with all the traffic that we have. You know, love Miami, but yes, definitely the traffic is something that sometimes kills us. Louis, hi, my friend. Thank you for watching and for joining. I'm just waiting for some other people to join before I start talking about all this stuff of real estate. Although I'm sure you're probably pretty much aware of all this that I talk about because you used to be in the business before, right? You totally changed, but I know you used to be in the business, so you're very knowledgeable as well. But anyway, thank you for watching as well. And I was talking at the beginning that I'm going to be mentioning some points about, you know, what are the fears that many people face when they're buying real estate, and what are the possible solutions? Because regardless, people, whether they rent or they have to pay rent or they have to pay a mortgage, so it's like choose your poison, either or. So and it's difficult because I know there's many people here in Miami that maybe the income is not that much, and but regardless they have to pay rent, right? And as you can see here in Miami, we have rentals. It's something exaggerated. You see rentals of townhomes for $1,800, $1,900, or homes, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom for $2,500. And basically, you can end up paying a mortgage for way much less. Correct me if I'm wrong, Luis. Am I wrong? Okay. So anyway, let's start. What are the fears that many people face when they're buying real estate? Okay, I'm going to name a few. And one of them is the loss of property value. Many times, you're planning to buy a property and you start thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to get this house, I'm going to get this apartment or whatever. And what happens if all of a sudden the market crashes like it did back in 2008? Right? We had a terrible downturn on all the prices plunged down, and you had purchased probably a property of $300,000, and all of a sudden it was worth $120,000. You just lost $180,000. So now what? What's the plan? But those are things that I cannot say that you can predict or you can avoid, but yes, you can in a certain way work around it, and make sure that when you're looking for a property, you try to make sure that before you even make the decision of placing a contract on this property, that the house or the price value of that home, it goes according to all the comparables in that area. And you know what? And if you're able to, even go lower, below that comparable, that price that is currently in the market, that's going to give you, like a margin just in case if anything happens, where at least, your loss is going to be way much less. But that would be my recommendation. I mean, if I'm looking for a property and it's worth $250,000, and I know the comparables in that area are 230 or, 235. Well, obviously, if I can try to get that property 190 or the most 200, I'm already playing with that margin there, and for my benefit and reducing my risk. Correct? So that's a fear that everybody faces. But again, as I said in the beginning, regardless, if you're going to go rent a property, they're going to ask you first month, last month, and a security deposit. And so let's have an idea. Let's say it's a house and it's worth $2,000 a month, the rent. Well, right up front, you're gonna have to pay 246. That's $6,000 up front. If you were to buy the same house, let's say the property was worth $296,000, and you were doing an FHA loan for first-time buyers, going in with the lease down payment of 3.5%, you're basically looking at $10,360. So the difference is like $4,360, but you're buying your own place. Now, once you start doing the numbers and you do your budget, that's going to give you peace. And the most important thing is that you know where you're heading. If you know your numbers, then you can make wise decisions, right? But if you start looking for a property and you don't even know exactly if you can afford it or not, then that's when the headaches are going to start. So definitely the loss of property value is something that many people fear. And another recommendation that I give is when you're looking for a property, just make sure that you look for it in an area that later on in the future is going to be easy for you to sell. Let's say an established neighborhood. You want a neighborhood that may offer maybe a lot of resources of job, in the area, that constantly people are moving in or, are looking to buy in that area. Things that do not affect the property value, like maybe landfills or highways or maybe crime. Catalina, thank you for watching. I know you just joined, but we're talking about the fears that people face when they're gonna buy a property, okay? And I just finished talking about the loss of property value. And, just to be careful, because many people fear that when they're going to buy a property, what happens if that property later on loses value? Well, the solution for that is just make sure that you buy a home in an established neighborhood. Avoid surroundings, near that house, like highways, landfills that can affect the property value. And that maybe that area has, multiple sources of employment. So in case, something happens with the market, then, you don't have a ghost neighborhood because, maybe there was just one business that was providing jobs in that city or in that area. And then all of a sudden everybody had to move and the values obviously drop more. Okay. And also when you're buying, just make sure that you're buying within the comparables, because let's say if I'm buying a house that is worth $200,000 and let's say $250,000, like I said at the beginning, and then the prices or the comparables, the homes that have sold in that area within the last 6 months are an average of 220, 230. Well, guess what? You try to get that house in an average of maybe 190, 200 the most. So you have that $30,000 price range to play with. Just in case anything happens, your risk is lower. Another fear that many people face when, buying a home, or that prevents them from buying a home basically, is the overwhelming maintenance costs, okay? People think this way, okay, I'm renting. So if the AC breaks, I just call the landlord, they'll send somebody to fix it, right? Or something happening in the plumbing and it's something, that is expensive, I don't have to worry about it because the landlord would send somebody to fix it. Okay, well, yes, but again, you're paying the property for somebody else. And the way that you can probably avoid these type of issues if you own your own property is, try to get a property that, first of all, is not that old, okay? And if it is old, then try to make sure that that property has been well maintained by the owners. So check the roof, for example. If it's a property, we're in 2016 and you're buying a property of 1990, hey, find out, was the roof changed? How long was it changed? We know average time for a roof is 20 to 30 years. So you do your math and you'll find out, okay, well, the roof has never been changed for this property. It can represent $25,000 right up front. If I move into this property, will you be able to take, the hit? So that's where you do your calculations. You also want to compare, maybe, I'm not too handy, or I have to pay somebody to do everything here because I don't know how to fix anything. Then you're better off buying a new property, right? A new construction, or at least a home that is not that old. But in general, what you want is to make sure that whatever property that you buy, at least it's been well maintained. And that way you can avoid running that risk of having to disperse money in the future to make major repairs. And one of the things that definitely you need to take into consideration when you're about to buy this property, don't forget, always do your inspections, because like that, you know what you're stepping into. Usually when they do that inspection report, there will be an estimate of the repairs that that house requires, and like that, you know if you can run the risk or not. Okay, so we already talked about loss of property value and overwhelming maintenance costs. Another fear that prevent many people from buying or a home is the buyer's remorse. And what is buyer's remorse? And I laugh about it because, you know, it's funny. Sometimes I have people in the closing table and they're like, oh, am I doing a good deal? And we're already at closing and I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, this is something you have to look at from the beginning. Okay. And you know, the way I see it is, okay, if you're this type of person that, you know, you feel that you're not making the right decision, or, you know, you need more sense of security when you're making such an important decision like buying a home, then try to see as many homes as possible, obviously within your price range. Make a wish list. Make a wish list of the characteristics that you would like to find in your future home. Right? And then make sure you do not exceed your budget. If you were approved for a home of $300,000, don't look for a home of $400,000. Okay? Look for a home of $320,000, $330,000, because it's going to give you a margin to negotiate. Okay? But that's the way you are going to avoid a buyer's remorse. And I don't want to see any of my buyers at a closing table saying, oh my God, am I doing a good deal? Or am I gonna... No. You make sure that if you need to sleep on your decision, you do it. You do it, but the most important thing is that you find peace when you're buying or doing such an important investment like your home. I mean, that's a place where you're going to live, whether you live in it, whether you rent it. It's a very important investment, and you want to make sure that you feel comfortable with it. You want to make sure that the agent that you're also working with guides you, you know, that is not only looking for their own interests, you know, I already showed you 3 properties. I mean, choose A, B, C, like, you know, the TV programs that we see sometimes on TV. I mean, I wish that was so true. Hey, I just showed you 3 properties. Choose A, B, or C. I mean, that would be awesome, but it doesn't work that way. So you need to feel comfortable. So loss of property value, overwhelming maintenance fee costs, buyer's remorse. And then another fear that people face that prevents them from buying a property is they're thinking, am I able to afford this mortgage or not? And it's very easy. You know, how do you prevent this, or how do you fight this fear? Well, very simple. You know, get educated. Find yourself a mortgage broker or a lender that can tell you about, you know, the different programs they have. Get familiarized with the programs that are out there, and understand what is going to be your monthly payment, including your insurance, your hazard, your flood, your taxes. You want to make sure that you have everything in there so you can have a global perspective and see, okay, my monthly payment of this house is going to be $1,900, but that includes HOA, that includes insurance, that hazard, taxes. It includes everything. Okay, so that's, you want to make sure that you are totally guided in this aspect, so you have a budget and you don't pass that, and then you're not going to have a headache saying, okay, now how I'm going to be able to afford it here and there, but whatever. Another thing that you can also do the moment that you decide to buy a property, because many people think this way, okay, I'm going to buy this home, right? And then what? What happens if I lose my job? Because that's a common question. I mean, it can pop up in anybody's head, right? Okay, I lose my job, then what? Well, maybe one of the things that I would recommend is, if you're going to go into this new journey of buying or becoming a new homeowner, is, you know, try to see if besides having the down payment and everything to buy your home, maybe you could have some emergency funds set aside just in case, if you lose your job or your spouse loses your job. At least you have an average of 3, 4, 5 months to cover your monthly mortgage payment in case that situation arises. I mean, I think that would be, something wise to do if that's one of your fears. Remember, all these are fears, but there's ways to work around it. And the thing is that if we do not fight these fears, or, we're just going to all our lives be tenants, and the only way that I really justify for you being a tenant is, one, if you have bad credit and you cannot really become a homeowner. Two, if you're constantly a person that you're being relocated by your company. And one year you're here in Miami, and then another year you're probably in New York, and the company's constantly relocating you to different places, then I understand it's not really sometimes, and even though, because at the end of the day you can rent it out, but that's a whole different, topic. But I would recommend, maybe that's one thing, I wouldn't consider in buying if I'm constantly being relocated and I want to avoid those headaches, okay? But again, yes, you want to get familiar and get educated in your mortgage. Now, another fear and that people face is also, the tricky mortgage programs, like the reversible mortgage and adjustable mortgage. I mean, get familiar with these programs. If you're still undecisive and you're not sure what you want to do, then just go with the the conventional 15-year term or 30-year term. You won't go wrong with that. You're going to know exactly how much are going to be your monthly payments, and then you're not going to be stressed out thinking, oh my god, interest rates just raised. Okay, my fixed rate expires basically in a couple months. Now I'm going to have a higher interest rate. Just go with the conventional 15-year or 30-year term, okay? And that way you avoid, your headaches. But I hope, all this information is very helpful. There are many opportunities out there. I think earlier today, and I don't know if you guys saw it, I posted a live video of these brand new townhomes. They're helping out with $14,200 of closing costs. And they're right here, they're in Kendall on Bird Road and 160-something Avenue, right next to Chrome. And if you guys know, Chrome, actually they are making it 2 lanes on each side. So it's going to be a piece of cake. You can avoid all that traffic of having to go down to Kendall Drive and then going out to get the turnpike. No, you just get Chrome and then get all the way out to 8th Street, and it's going to be a piece of cake. So it's a really good location, brand new, 2016. And it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. I think it's 1,676 square feet. And don't forget that I also have a listing on 5832 Southwest 163rd Place. Beautiful home, 3-bedroom. I'm sorry, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage. Best of all, no HOA. Okay, and it has 2 side entrances, so if you need to fit a boat, it's just perfect. Okay, remember, many of the new homes right now are having HOA, and people just sometimes they don't like it. They don't want to have that restriction of, okay, now I got a fine because the tire of my car just landed on a piece of grass, and now my car was towed away. That happened to me once. Believe me, it happened to me once. So I don't like too many properties with HOAs. There's sometimes that you cannot get away with it because if you're going to buy a condo, obviously all of them have HOA. But regardless, homes, yes, you can get really great homes. This is a 2004. The one that I just mentioned is a 2004 property. And really good location. So it's near shops, restaurants, everywhere. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. If you did, give me a like, please, and share my videos. I'm sure there's many people out there that are sometimes confused with everything that goes around real estate, and they think it's very complicated, and it is if you don't have the right resource to get your information, okay, or you don't have the right agent to guide you, okay. And I want you guys to be on the lookout, because I will be we're going to start doing some advertising on this new program for a seminar for first-time buyers. Is going to take place in March. The exact date will be posted, and that's basically it. So I hope you guys liked it. Thank you for the like, and have a great rest of the evening Wednesday, and enjoy your coffee when you get home. Okay, see you guys. Bye.